Alright, so let's check out Dogelon Mars. Seems like we've skyrocketed pretty hard since the last time I made a video about this. Up about 30% or so. Well, yeah, 30% from the top of that wick there. So let's see what else to look for now. Now, the last video I made, we drew this little micro fib here, and we said as long as we stay above this 618 here, 856, we would be bullish for a continuation move, something like this. Obviously, we never came back to the 618. We just went right off to the races. So, what I said in the previous video is I see us coming up to this trend line at some point. Whether that means this is a lower high before Dogelon Mars rolls over, or whether we're finally going to break above the top of the trend, that is yet to be seen. But what we have highlighted is this beautiful W pattern. Absolutely great. I mean, we came up here and it looks like we pretty much perfectly back tested this line. And the last time we made a video, it kind of looked like we were back testing the midway of this, but it also kind of seems like we've gone off to the races and we're back testing the top of this W wick as well. And we've had a green candle so far. There's not really too much buying volume stepping in, which is a slight problem. But you can see that if we do just take a price movement from where we are now to the top of the wick, you can see that Dogelon probably has another 15% move or so to go. So I'm not personally going to be trading any Dogelon at the moment. I hold some Dogelon for the long term, just because it's a funny dog coin and it's got a pretty low market cap compared to Doge and Shib. And let's be honest, Dogelon Mars is a much better name than Shiba and Dogecoin. So this coin will probably do well in the future, even though it's a shit coin. So I do see us coming to the top of this channel. That's another 15% move from where we are, and then we'd need to see what happens to Dogelon once we get up there. So another thing, the RSI is turning up quite strong. It does kind of seem like we're getting a tiny bit stuck maybe, but you know, we will have to see what happens later on in the week, because I do think we're going to have a little bit more of a bounce before we make a decision. If we are able to get above this trend line and go off to the races, then I will be buying more Dogelon Mars for sure. But if we do come up to this trend line here and get a rejection, let's see what your hopium target would be for us to remain bullish. So from the low to the high, worst case scenario, we would need to hold the 61.8, which is 772. But I've noticed Dogelon isn't really the kind of coin that respects fibs all too often. I mean, you can see most of the time it just has a straight move up and then comes down. And that's kind of what I'm expecting. I mean, I expect that we're at least going to come up to the top of this trend line, and then we'll need to see what happens. So let's see if there's anything on the weekly or the monthly before we wrap it up. Weekly RSI looks a lot more healthy. You can see that we've basically been beat down for a while, and we're kind of finding a little bit of support in this midline, or the heart line of the RSI. If we come over to the monthly RSI isn't even here, but I do think RSI would probably be a little bit extended if the monthly RSI was on Dogelon, because we did have this huge candle. And another thing to note is just we are not having too much buying volume stepping in, but if we do see some buying volume stepping in and we are able to hop above this trend line, then I will be picking up some more Dogelon. So that's really all I wanted to point out for you. If you're looking for hopium, I'd say keep an eye on this 1093. As long as we stay above here, then this beautiful W pattern that we've got here is very much valid, and I do believe it will take us to at least the top of this trend line, or perhaps even above the trend line. So that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, none of this is financial advice, it's just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.